Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, friends of classical archives. My name is Gustav Holst, and I was born in Cheltenham, England in 1874, into a family of musicians. My father was a pianist and organist. Music was the air we breathed, though not always the easiest of callings. I began as a pianist myself, but neuritis in my hands forced me to give up the instrument and turn to composition and the trombone. In a way, that limitation became my liberation. I studied at the Royal College of Music in London, where I met Ralph Vaughan Williams, who became both my closest friend and a lifelong ally in musical exploration. Together we sought an English voice in music, one that did not simply echo the Germans or the French, but spoke in the cadences of our own land, our own folk songs, our own skies. Early on, my works found little favor. I earned my living as a teacher, not a composer, at St. Paul's Girls' School and Morley College. And though it left me little time for composition, I found joy in the work. Teaching gave me purpose and kept me honest. I used to tell my students, never compose for money or for fame. Write because you must. My fascination with other cultures and philosophies led me to study Sanskrit, and from that came works such as Savitri and The Cloud Messenger. I was drawn to the idea that music could express something beyond the personal, a cosmic order, a spiritual rhythm. That fascination reached its fullest expression in The Planets, composed during the years of the Great War. Each movement of the planets reflects not astronomy, but astrology, the ancient belief that each planet embodies a force within the human spirit. Mars, the bringer of war, came first, a reflection of the turmoil around us. Venus, the bringer of peace, followed, not as a sentimental dream, but as a deep longing for harmony after destruction. I never imagined that work would overshadow all others, yet it seems to have found its own orbit in the world. Though I admired many of my contemporaries, Debussy, Ravel, Sibelius, and of course Vaughan Williams, I always tried to keep my path clear of imitation. My later years were spent seeking simplicity, clarity, and directness, especially in works like Egdon Heath, which I considered among my best. I died in 1934 in London, the city where I had taught, worked, and written for most of my life. I was never one for grand gestures or fame. What mattered to me was sincerity in sound, that each note serves something greater than itself. If my music endures, I hope it is because it continues to remind listeners that beyond the wars and the planets, beyond the noise and motion of the world, there is still order, mystery, and quiet wonder. Thank you.